Shakira, Shakira.
Hey everybody, this is your Power EMOM workout. In terms of equipment today, you need one medium weight and one heavier weight. You can use kettlebells or dumbbells, does not matter to me. And we're gonna make our way down to the mat to start that warm up. So coming onto all fours, we're gonna start with some scap cars. Let's tuck the toes under so we have a little more support, and then tuck those hips under slightly. We're gonna start by sinking down into the shoulder sockets. We'll lift the shoulders to the ears, press the floor away, drop the shoulders away from the ears. One more time slow. We sink down, lift the shoulders to the ears, push the floor away, shoulders down away from the ears. Let's take a few more cycles in this direction, seeing if you can smooth out that circle and make sure that we're not getting the rest of the back involved. So keep that little tuck of the hips. Good, and let's freeze in that neutral position. We're gonna reverse that if I can remember which way we went first. So let's start by pressing the floor away, lift the shoulders to the ears, sink into the shoulders, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Good, one more slow. We push away, shoulders up by the ears, we sink it down, drop it away from the ears. Let's keep going in this direction. I'm gonna assume that this is reversed. And if it's not, oh well. Good, take your last rotation here, and then we're gonna untuck the toes, bring them together, knees apart, and sit back on the heels. In this position, we wanna make sure we can have a nice supported flat back and not round it over. So we're gonna start with the right arm. We lift bicep by the ear without twisting the torso. We're gonna spiral around behind us, puffing open the chest. Your hand connects to the small of your back. We're gonna lift up, bring it all the way around, and tap it down in the front. Two more here. So we're resisting moving anything but that arm. So I only want you to move in the range of motion that you have access to. So if you start to move the torso, crunch up the shoulders, you've gone a little too far. This is your last one on this side. Finish out that last circle. Before we go to the other side, we're gonna take that right hand around the ribs. I want you to take a big inhale. On your exhale, we press up and away and twist and hold. Good, 3 more breaths here. Inhale into the hand. Exhale, press the floor away, twist a little more. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, press, twist. Last one. Exhale, press, twist. And we bring it back to the center, right to the other side. So left arm, bicep by the ear. We spiral around, resist that twist. Lift up, bring it back around, and down. Keep the shoulders away from the ears here. And you got 2 more. After this last one, we're gonna do those T-spine rotations one more time. So left hand around the ribs, take a big inhale. Exhale, press the floor away, twist up to the left and hold. Make sure the booty stays back on the heels. 3 more breaths, inhale. Exhale, press, twist. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, press, twist. Last one, inhale. Exhale, press, twist. And bring it back to the front. Very nice. We're gonna hit a high plank position for a little runner's lunge shoulder tap combo. So hands under the shoulders, legs are gonna be a little wider for support. We're gonna go for a shoulder tap. A shoulder tap from here, right foot steps forward. We're gonna take a big twist. Bring it down, other side, left foot forward, big twist, bring it down. We're gonna do that 4 more times. So we tap, right foot forward. Take your time. Imagine like someone has to take your photo in each position. We've got 2 more here. If you need to, you can always drop down to the knees for those shoulder taps. The whole goal there is to resist moving the hips. So if you have trouble doing that from your high plank, drop the knees down. Last round here. And we'll flip it onto the back. We're gonna come into some bridges. We're gonna go for 10 moving, and then we'll take a little isometric hold. So lifting the hips up and down, trying to get that full hip extension. You can keep the arms on the ground. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can lift them up over the chest. We got 5 more here. Let's hold our last one up. Walk your feet all the way together. We're gonna extend the right leg and hold for 10. Good, keep pinching those thighs together. Toes are pulled up. Make sure we're not turning out from the hip for 3, 2, 1. We switch legs. Good, we're here for 10, 9, 8, 7. Push into those arms. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Let's roll it up. Final exercise here in our warm-up. We're gonna do some split squat jumps. So this is gonna mimic something we're doing in the actual workout without the jump, but we do wanna work on some power here. So we're gonna start with the left leg front, right leg back. Hips are tucked under. We come up into a hover. We're gonna do this together in a moment. Let's just watch the breakdown first. We're gonna use the arms to explode off the ground, come back down. Explode, come back down. If the impact is a little too much, you're gonna do this. Up, onto the ball of that foot, if you can. If that's too much, just a power split squat, okay? So 3 different levels there. You choose the one that suits you best for whatever reason, and let's go for it. Just 5 on each side, then we're into the bulk of the workout. So left leg front, right leg back. Tuck those hips under, take a big inhale. We're gonna hover first. Exhale, hover. Here we go, 5 reps here. Up and hold. Good, 2 and hold. 3 and hold. 2 more. 4 and hold. Last one. Bring it all the way down. Whew. Catch your breath. So we're gonna go to the other side. I want you to use your arms to help explode off of the ground, all right? So everything we have from that hip extension to the arms going into extension, that's gonna help us get more height, more power, and it is a power workout after all. Let's do it. So right leg front, left leg back, tuck the hips, take an inhale. Exhale, hover, 5 reps in your own time. And breathe. All right, that is your warm up. If you need anything else, take a sec, do it now. Otherwise, we're gonna hop right into the bulk of it. Let's talk about the structure of today's workout. Like we said at the beginning, this is an EMOM workout, so that means every minute on the minute, we are gonna be restarting our set of exercises. So let's talk about the first exercise, and then we'll do it together. We're gonna start with a split stance single arm thruster today. So we've been working on our bilateral thrusters where our feet are next to each other. Now, we're gonna do it from a split stance. So it's a lot more stability driven, or I guess unstable as an exercise. And you can do a kettlebell or dumbbell. Let's break it down once. So we're gonna start this actually from a standing position. Right arm has the weight, right leg is back. I like to bring my opposite arm in front for counterbalance, completely up to you. We're gonna take our time, inhale down. As we come up, punch the ceiling. In this position, I'm getting my hips all the way extended. Back hip is pushing to the front. I am pinching the floor and pinching my inner thighs. Then we'll bring it back to the shoulder. So that again, inhale down, punch the ceiling, bring it back to the shoulder. You'll notice that my feet are slamming down into the floor. The heavier the weight, the more of that you're going to need. So base it off of whatever weight you're using, and let's jump on into it. So same rep range today, 6 reps. Every minute, we start again. We're gonna do this single side, so we're gonna do 2 on the right, 2 on the left, and we'll alternate. Let's start with the right side. So right arm has the weight, left leg in front. We put 1 minute on the clock. We're gonna start this standing in 3, 2, and 1. So right arm has that weight. We take a big inhale, exhale, punch. Stick the landing, drop it back to the shoulder. So remember, this is power, which means the whole point is to get that weight from point A to point B as quickly as possible. 1 more if you're with me. And then you can bring it down. We got about 30 seconds and then we'll do the other side. Very nice. So, big thing to think about here as we're going through this, power. Again, we're pulling back on the rubber band. Punch the ceiling, stick that landing, reset, okay? Make sure we're not connecting every single rep. Again, it's power, It's not cardio. It's about all of those holds in between. We got about 10 seconds, so let's rack our weight. Left arm has it, left leg back. Let's go for it. 6 in your own time. Big inhale. Exhale, punch. You bring it to the shoulder, reset. 5 more. Once you hit 6, you bring it down. You got about 35 seconds here. All right, one more time on each side. Nothing crazy, nothing too wild. This is your halfway point here. So as we're getting this more and more comfortable in our body, I just want you to think about the mechanics, right? The very basics of it. We're going down into a split squat. We're coming up fast, finding that overhead press position. Just because we're doing something fancy doesn't mean that we lose the basics. We still want to find that nice tall standing plank, okay? Let's go for it. Rack it on the right side. Right leg back. And we got 6. So again, find that nice strong split squat. Punch it up. Make sure we're not ending with that arch back. Push the hips forward. Bring it down. Once you're done, bring it down. You got 30 seconds. And we'll go to the other side one more time. So, as we go into this last round, I want you to think about the hardest part of this exercise. Is it being stable at the top? Is it moving the weight from point A to point B? Whatever the answer is, that's what I want you focused on improving this time, okay? So we got 10 seconds. Left arm has the weight, left leg back. Let's rack it up. Whenever you're ready, 6 reps. Once you're done, bring it to the floor. We are done with those weights. We got our push-ups. So take your time, finish out your reps. We're gonna come into some eccentric focused push-ups today. So last week we did down 1, up slow for 3. We're reversing it and it's a little harder. We're gonna go down for 3, hold, up 1. So that's gonna look like on the toes, down to 3, hold, up 1. Now, a lot of times as we push up for 1, we start to lose that core engagement and our low back is gonna cave in. So if you find that that keeps happening to you, I'm gonna have you lower the knees at the bottom. So what that's gonna look like is down, 2, 3, hold, drop the knees, push up 1, bring it back up. We are ideally working for that power on the way back up. So if you cannot produce it from the full plank, just drop the knees down, okay? I've already done a lot of push-ups today, so I might be taking it just because I'm fatigued. Also a great reason to do it. Let's go. So we're gonna go 6 reps, 4 times through, 60 seconds on that clock. Let's go in 3, in 2, and 1. So screw your hands into the ground. Big inhale down, 3, 2, 1, hold, up 1. Again, that modification, you're gonna drop your knees at the bottom and then extend once you get fully extended. You're with me, 1 more. And rest. 30 seconds here. Whew. Okay. Nice work, everybody. So a few things with these push-ups. We already talked about the low back. If you are someone who finds that your wrists get really, really cranky, you can always elevate them on a set of dumbbells. If you have actual, like, I don't know what they're called, they're just like little grip things, put them in the floor, you can always use those too. And if you're having trouble with this in general, elevate the hands on a bench, on a chair, on your sofa, whatever you have, okay? Let's go for it. 6 more here. So, big inhale down, exhale up. 40 seconds of rest if you're with me. Again, no rush, take your time. Give those wrists a little flick out in your downtime. If you want to go for some circles or some wrist cars, more than welcome to. I know a lot of times, and it's just because it's a smaller joint, we have smaller stabilizing muscles there. Sometimes we're lacking mobility in that wrist extension. A lot of times we get out of a push-up and the first thing we say is like, oh, my wrists, even though it's not a wrist exercise per se, right? So we have all those modifications if you need them. We got about 10 more seconds, 2 more rounds. Let's focus on our breath connection this time. So we'll set it up together. Whew. We're gonna take that nice big inhale on the way down, hold, exhale up. So a lot of times, people think that breath is super weird. Keep going with your push-ups, but that sharp exhale is literally a brace of your core. So on the way up, if we have that core support, we're probably not gonna lose that low back positioning, right? Rest when you're ready. So a lot of times I'll get questions like, why are you hissing? Why are you making that noise as you're breathing? And that is just a cue externally for me to brace my core, okay? It doesn't need to sound exactly like mine, but if we're doing really unfocused exhales, there's no core tension, okay? So even if you wanna let out a silent, strong exhale, totally fine, but we need to get that core engaged, okay? So we got 1 more round. Just under 10 seconds, so let's get it set up. 6 more reps, breath, especially that exhale. Let's go for it. All right, take your time, finish yours out. And we're going for some swings. So I'm gonna show kettlebell and dumbbell. Let me show dumbbell first, and then we will do some very scary adjustable kettlebell swings. We're gonna work on some single arm work today. So we've got a single arm dead stop swing. Let's start with the right side. We're gonna bring feet nice and narrow so we don't hit our knees. And this is the same version that we did with 2 arms, but now we just have 1. So we're gonna toss that weight out. We sling back, bring it right back to the shoulder. Out and back. I've got my opposite arm mimicking as if I had another weight. It's just gonna help you produce power through your hips and honestly give your arms something to do. If you are using a kettlebell, this starts from the floor. Nice triangle stance here. We're gonna reach out, tilt the bell, make sure you pull your shoulders back in line with each other so we don't wanna be twisted. From here we hike, push, hike, and land. Every time we hike, we wanna keep that nice and low starting position. So we don't wanna extend the knees, okay? So we're gonna do the same thing, 6 reps, dead stop swings, and we're gonna do this unilaterally. So we'll do right, left, then we'll move it on. Let's go. So 1 minute going on that clock, 6 reps, right side in 3, 2, and 1. So I'm gonna show dumbbell first round. We toss it out, right back to the shoulder. Now, what I want you to focus on here is using that momentum, right? As I come back up, I'm not just bringing it up to the shoulder. Let it swing all the way through that arch. As you toss it, let the swing of the bell, the momentum of the bell pull you back. Good. You got about 30 seconds here, 35 seconds. Take your rest when you want it. Well, when you're done 6 reps. That's when you should want it. All right, so we're gonna go to the other side. I will show kettlebell this round. And yeah, my biggest advice is thinking about using that momentum, right? So we let the bell float, push, float, bring it back in. Same thing with the kettlebell, really finding that float at the top. Let's go for it. So we're gonna get it set up. Left arm this time, 6 reps. Go for it when you're ready. Now with my kettlebell, same thing. My arm is mimicking what my hips are doing. And once you hit 6, take your breather. So, if you're using something that's not super heavy, you probably don't need that other arm doing something. Again, I just like it to do something, so it feels like it's not in the way. But as we get heavier with our weight, with a lot of that single arm swing work, we really wanna make sure that we're utilizing the hips as much as possible. So if your arm is mimicking it, you're gonna have even more power. So let's really focus on integrating that opposite arm this time. And if you are going heavy, you're gonna need it. We got about 5 seconds. Right side, dead stop swings. Let's go, 6 reps. And breathe when you're done. Whew. All right, we're gonna pull all of the rogue hair. Oh no, out of the ponytail. I have to put it in the trash can. I was like, if that ends up on the floor, I will be so upset when we come down for windmills. All right, last round, left arm. I'm gonna show dumbbell again because I feel like a lot of people are probably utilizing that with this program. And it's a little bit different from what we see in other programs. And let's tie it all together. Power through the hips, using that opposite arm, finding the float, all right? You got under 10, so we're gonna rack it on that left side and go for it when you're ready. Nice work, everybody. Okay, we're coming down for some windmills. Take your time finishing those out. Let's break this down. If you would like to double up your mat or grab a block or a pillow to put underneath your kneeling knee. Oh no, we're up on the floor. Haha, off the floor, full standing windmills. Great, could have thrown my hair all over the ground. So we're gonna start this with the left side, and let's go no weight first, and we'll do this all together. So, left side is up. We're gonna take our toes, shift them away from the working arm, okay? We're gonna look up at our hand. Your right arm is sliding down your legs as we send our hips back. Then we're coming back up to the top. So what we don't want here is a bend of the knee to make it knee dominant. So I am pushing my hips back to the side, keeping my knees in line with my ankles, and back up. If this is a little too challenging for you, you can keep it body weight today, or you can come back down and do the kneeling windmills that we were working on last week, all right? So same structure, we're gonna do 6 on each side, 4 times through, so 2 on each side total. You get what I'm saying, let's go for it. So, kettlebell dumbbell, if you've never done this before, go lighter, and then you can go heavier if you feel comfy. Let's do it. So, we're starting, left arm with that weight up overhead, toes turned to the right. We're gonna look up at the weight for safety. Right side, slides down the leg. Send that booty back. Exhale all the way back up. Find that full extension. We're going for 6 here. Inhale down, exhale up. We got 1 more. Rack it on the shoulder, 20 seconds here. Nice job. All right, we're gonna go to the other side. So let's break it down really quickly. Again, toes are gonna go to the left. Arm is up, we're sliding down and up. So we're getting that nice little lateral flexion and a little rotation here. It's a complex exercise. Let's go for it. Right side up, turn the toes to the left, look up at that weight. Left arm sliding down the legs. And up. We want to have a slight bend in the knees, but we don't want anything too severe. Remember, it's a hip hinge. So just like if you were doing a deadlift, you have a little knee bend, but what's the main mover here? Hips. 1 more if you're with me. Woo! All right. Those are tough. Definitely feeling it with this heavier weight. Okay, we're gonna go 1 more time each side. We got about 20 seconds left of rest, and we are gonna be doing these again in the next program, or in the next week of this program. So don't feel like this is it, like all or nothing, nail it today and you never see it again. We're gonna work on these again next week because they are a little tricky. So 5 seconds, bring that weight up to the left side, up overhead, toes to the right, 6 more.
And the stars make love to the universe, and you touch me, and I'm like, and I'm like, and I'm like,
Bring it to the shoulder when you're done. Drop it down. 30 seconds. Those are taxing, yeah. So we're gonna do this last side on the right, and then we've got a core drill, and then we're out of here. Easy. Very simple. Remember, simple does not mean inefficient. Simple does not mean easy in terms of effort, right? A lot of the effort here is gonna depend on the effort that you put in. So let's do it. Max effort. Right side. Toes to the left. 6 more. Woo, okay. Once you're done, you've got 30 seconds left to finish it out. We're gonna go for our final exercise, which is a standing goblet hold. So we did this on week 1 kneeling. Now we're gonna have both feet underneath of us. So you could ideally go a little bit heavier here, okay? 35, 40 pounds, maybe if you have it. And let's talk through kettlebell, goblet position, elbows are in. Oh, dumbbell, you should be going heavier than this. Weight up at the chest, okay? Let's go for it. We start up in 3, in 2, and 1. So, we have a whole minute in this goblet hold. What am I looking for? Kettlebell or dumbbell, as high as you can control. Elbows in tight, and we wanna make sure we're not leaning back. So I want you to almost feel like you're leaning over that weight. So we wanna imagine we've got a can of Coke between our ribs and our pelvis. Crush in on it. Whew. You're halfway through. Let's talk about the lower body. Again, hips are tucked under, ribs pulled down. Give me a slight unlock of the knees. We don't need to be in a quarter squat here, but just an unlock. I want you to think of screwing your feet into the floor. Your arms should start to be shaking. Your midline should start to feel this. Use your breath. Big inhales, big exhales. You're almost out, 10 seconds. Do not put that weight down. You are so close. We are out of this in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Nice work today, everybody. Woo! All right, give yourself a little hug. And open, and hug. Very nice work. So we have one more progression in our EMOM series within this power program. If you have any questions, as always, leave them below, and I will see you in the next one.